So I spent the next several years trying to see different doctors and regulate and deal with specialists and all of those things. And I found myself eventually on tons and tons of medication again. And guess what? I got really sick. I had really bad episodes in between each kid, which was shocking every time when I got pregnant, because I didn't think that my body would do that. I know that sounds crazy because you're like, after 2 when you figure it out, but there's a lot that goes into that. And a lot of things doctors told us that said, you know, oh no, your body can't do this during this time. It's complicated, and they were wrong. Spent years kind of in and out of sickness, in and out of relapses, in and out of lupus flare-ups. And I want to bring us up to March. Oh, there's a pretty bluebird. March of 2020. What happened is my daughter got deathly ill. Her appendix ruptured. It was right when COVID had hit America. And I was watching all of this from our hospital room because I wasn't allowed to leave. The whole state, Kentucky, and the whole country was going on lockdown. And no one was allowed to leave their house. Well, here I was, stuck in a pediatric hospital with even the cafeterias closing down. My husband was an hour away with 3 other boys to take care of and working. And I wasn't allowed to leave because if I left, I couldn't come back. And everybody was catching COVID, but nobody knew what it was. And in March, I spent two weeks in the hospital going through Bella's surgeries and stuff and keeping her alive. And I was in and out of different floors of the hospital and stuff, trying to get food out of vending machines and all of those things, trying to stay alive. Through all of that and that stress, I left there, and within a week, I was deathly ill. Very, very, very ill. And I was super scared that it was COVID, and they were not testing anyone. They were barely letting people come back to the hospital at that point. So I believe, and I cannot prove, that in April, I had COVID. Whatever it was either COVID or it was my body attacking itself, because I got sick for an entire month. And that was rough. And I did not recover, because whatever that sickness was continued. And my body went into a huge lupus flare-up. And then my son went down April, May, June. In June, right before I left to go down to Florida to bring my niece back here to stay for 3 months, Mason passed out, and I thought he was having a heart attack. It was a heart thing. It was syncope and blah, blah, blah. Not real serious, but we thought it was serious, so that stressed me out. So I got even sicker. And so my body started packing on weight and trying to protect itself, and it was attacking everywhere. So my whole body was swollen, and I ended up ballooning up to 245 pounds. By July 1st, I was 245 pounds. And that's when my body started shutting down. That's when my body decided to attack my entire digestive system. And it spent the next 6 months, I just having serious digestive problems. I knew it eventually destroyed my gallbladder. Not stones, just destroyed it. And that affected everything. And I ended up with a horrible virus within my upper small intestines that nobody could get to or treat. So I went back to my Jake the Amish guy. It ended up being Sam, his son, which I know too. And he put me on a bunch of supplements, which actually ridded the body of the infection and the bacterias. And I have spent the last 6 months trying to build myself back up. I am just now, within the last 3 weeks, starting to feel good. Knock on wood. Because I want to feel good. I have added stretching. I have added healthy whole food diet. I took out all sodas and juices a long time ago. And I found out forever ago that I have a fructose intolerant. It has to do with FODMAPs, if you'd like to look that up. But those trigger me for sure with my lupus. So I try to stay away from those. But I also add lots of healthy vegetables and things like that. I just found out that lupus is highly triggered. The immune system, if you have an immune issue, is highly triggered by garlic and alfalfa. So those two things are in everything processed, mostly. Alfalfa's in a lot more than you think. So I'm desperately trying to wean those out of my system so I can wean all triggers out. I don't drink soda. I don't add sugar if at all possible. I don't do high fructose corn syrup because that's a huge trigger. So I'm learning my body, and we're at present day now. Present day, I have a horrible Baker's cyst in my knee, but the stretching over the last 3 weeks has made it almost unfeelable. Yeah, I'm mobile and doing okay. Fingers crossed.